Good morning, one and all. Today our topic is in mechanical modification, shallow compaction. So here in last class we observed what are the various kind of modifications which we understand in for the betterment of the soil in construction point of view, as well as it is improves various parameters. So in this mechanical modification we are understanding how the soil density is increased by the application of mechanical force. It includes compaction of various sublayers which are using these vibratory such as static vibrators such as compact rollers and plate vibrators. Now in this we are understanding what is a compaction. So coming to this compaction we have to understand like this the soil and what it may in different phase. Once we are applying mechanical force into it, it is going to dense. It depends upon the how the soil fineness, aggregate fineness, and how the soil behaves, and it depends upon the how it compacts, how much it compacts. It depends upon the culture of the soil. So it is a simple ground improvement technique where the soil is defined through external compactive effect. Here we are talking about the external compactive effect. So whenever we are going to compact this, it is increasing the stability of the soil, as well as we are using many number of different types we are choose depends upon the requirement of the soil, and the quality of the soil decides, and what we require is going to be analyze. Based on that we are choose which type of equipment is suitable for the compaction. So in these we are having different types of compaction loads are there. They are static loads and we may apply dynamic loads. It depends which type we are going to apply. So that depends upon the soil, nature of the soil. So based on that we are applying. In this the shallow surface compaction has different properties, different kinds of roller equipment we are using, and it has certain limitations. So in this shallow surface compaction we are using sheep foot rollers. In these sheep foot rollers it is also called tampering foot roller. So it is suitable, it is not suitable for all kind of things. Already we discussed regarding that. It depends upon the quality and the requirement of the soil. So in this suitable for predominantly this shallow surface compaction is for clayey soils, not for coarse aggregates. So we know soils are two different types majorly, that is fine aggregate, coarse aggregates. So coarse grain, fine grain. So this is for very clearly this shallow surface compaction is for clayey soils, not for coarse grain soils. So tamping, and in these we are using this tamper based on the tamping that action. So that action also having certain dimensions and how much time the tampering is required, and whenever we are using that equipment, and how the equipment is there to do the required compaction. So all these parameters we have to observe in this shallow surface compaction. This sheep foot roller has in the contacting pressure, it gives that's 1500 to 7000 kPa, and this roller speed 3 to 6 kilometers per hour. So whenever the sheep foot roller has contacting pressure in between 1500 to 7000 kPa, as well as the speed is 3 to 6 kilometers per hour, and this width of the drum, this drum width, so this is the sheep foot roller. So this speed is some limitations is there, 3 kilometers to 6 kilometers per hour. This pressure, how much here, that pressure, whenever this pressure is also within the limitation, that is 1500 to 1700 And width of these drums already we observed in this figure. So these drum widths, those drum widths are is 1.22 to 1.98. Diameter of the drum is also 1.02 to 1.83 meters. So coming to this empty weight of the roller is 1.627 7 tons. So in this, it depends upon the how many number of passages necessary for this type of roller to obtain the required densities must be determined based on the each type of the soil encountered. So in this, it depends. It's not, we are not like this pressure is this much. So the speed of the sheep foot roller in between 3 to 6 like that. There is no exact specification, but it is determined based on the which type of soil which we are going to encounter and which we are going to do the compaction for the using this sheep foot roller. In this, we have some advantages. So coming to these advantages, more suitable for corrosive soils, and it requires that action, and it is increased blending. So the mixing things together is increased. So the blendiness is more when compared to the other kind of simple roller compactions, and its simplification of adding water or drying as needed. It is very simplification of these kind of using this. It's also are drying as it is needed. So effective in breaking down rock pieces. And coming to these disadvantages, it has comparatively slow operation, lower compact density, and large interrupted air. So voids presence in the soil due to insufficient compaction. So these are the some of the disadvantages which we observe in this type of compaction. So this is the machinery which we use. This is the equipment for sheep foot roller. Coming to the smooth drum roller. So it is look like this. This is the drum shape, that is in other shape. It is like this. So smooth drum roller. In this, we are going to use, is used for granular soils. The previous one we are used for clayey soils. This is most effective used in subgrade work in the final finishing of a surface. In roads, generally we observe at the time of the construction of the roads, whenever the roads are going to laying. So the final subgrade work, we are using such kind of rollers. So we will generally observe in road construction. So in this, probably it is most effective for the subgrade work, and this is also the same speed. It is also in between 3 to 6 kilometers hour per speed. Large contact area, hence less pressure. Coming to these, contact pressure is less when compared to the previous one, that is sheep foot roller. Here this is 300 to 400 kilopascals. So in these rollers have one large steel drum in front and two steel drums on the rear. So the gross weight of these rollers is in the range of 8 to 10 tons. So the other type of smooth wheel rollers is called, different types are available nowadays in this also, in this equipment also. Tandem roller which weighs between 6 to 8 tons. About 8 passages are adequate for compacting 20 centimeters layer. So this is the one of the adaptive thing which we are understanding from the smooth drum roller, that is 8 passes gives the compacting the layer that up to 20 centimeters of the layer. So we are going to understand this. The smooth drum roller, it looks like this. And coming to these advantages in these, the single drum roller has its unique advantages since it has similar than double drum roller. Its sleek shape can guarantee that it can be work in narrow and tight area which the double drum roller cannot do, because in this it is the compared to the double drum roller, it is the size is very compared to it is very less. So whenever the dimensions are going to less, it is useful whenever the road work is going in very narrow areas and tight areas, so we can roll it and we can take the all the advantages which we are getting from this drum roller, as well as the we are going to maintain the quality and quantity which we require, and without compromising any parameters and any properties which we get from the double drum roller. This is the one of the unique advantage which we observe in this single drum roller. In this roller, it is perfect for preparation work before paving the road. So already we discussed, which we observe in transportation, in roadways, whenever we are constructing roads, these kind of drum rollers we are observing, and using these kind of single drum rollers we can easily compact. The compaction is very easy, and further whenever the flattening of that ground for sideways or walkways and driveways, it getting very easier, and it is very the uses are very simple. Whenever we are using, it is very impactable. So in this single drum vibratory roller is very good at highway paving, setting of foundation for some buildings. So for setting the foundations also it is helpful. So because of the size. So the front of the single drum roller is heavier. The drum needs to be gained and weights much to compact the ground. Besides, due to the back tires, the roller will have better quality than double drum one. So these are the advantages which we will get from single drum roller. Because of this roller, we are using this single drum roller, we are getting the same advantages, same workmanship, and whatever the required properties we will need, we are satisfying because of the single drum roller. Also using this less dimension for narrow areas also. And coming to these double drum rollers, it is the biggest difference between these single drum vibratory roller and double drum vibratory roller is that it has two drum instead of the tires behind. So coming to these single drum roller have single drum and it has two tires at back side. Front it has, in single drum roller it has one drum. Coming to the back side, it has tires. So it is replaced with the drum in these tires. So in single drum roller which have tires, it is replaced in double drum roller with drum. So in this double drum roller can flatten ground in front of and behind the roller at the same time. So which one is not in single drum when we are using the single drum roller. So that is the major difference between these two. So in this, the most significant advantage of these is it is very efficient, and this operating between two drums, it will work at a time. At a time, the work will be done in the longer way, and the work is going to complete within the same time. The work is completed work is doubled. So these kind of advantages which we observe in our double drum roller. It is double area when compacted with single drum roller, that will certainly improve working efficiency and economize the manpower also. Because of the better power and efficiency, double drum roller can work greatly, and this machine can flatten ground of highway with fast speed and high accuracy. The work is going to complete fasterly, and the accuracy also we will get more accuracy compared to the single drum roller. In this, one more is pneumatic tried roller. It is suitable for both cohesion and cohesionless soils. Such type of is used for both earthwork and bituminous work, and they can compact the layers with uniform pressure throughout the width. In this also, front and rear wheels not in align for the better efficiency. This speed is 6 to 12 kilometers per hour. This is better than the those previously we mentioned those rollers. Compared to the speed is better, and it is the smoother finish. lift thickness is equal to 15 to 30 centimeters based on the roller weight. So heavier in weight, hence lesser. So whenever the heavier in weight, hence lesser number of passes are required. It depends upon the weight. It is purely depends upon the weight. It is heavier in weight. It requires the very less number of passes are required. Coming to these kind of tied roller advantages, they provide a more uniform degree of compaction than steel wheel rollers. They provide a tighter, denser surface, decreasing permeability of the layer. They provide increased density that many times cannot be obtained with steel wheel rollers. And coming to these, some of the disadvantages are also involved in these type of tight rollers. In these, the arrangement may cause deformations in the mat difficult. So whenever coming to these, use these kind of finishing roller, they are not should be used for this kind of finishing rolling. In coming to these, whenever we are going to bender contents, it depends upon the mixing. So it has the different kinds of properties which are going to involve in the whenever the binders contains. It depends. So it has some different pictures, and if some stickiness of these may happen because of the combination of the aggregates and different materials which we are using for the construction work. So based on that, the binder contains having different types of nature. So some of them are sticky, some of them not that much. So this is also this kind of roller. It depends upon the such type of nature. So the sticky nature is there. These kind of tight rollers are taking lot of time, and the service we cannot getting the 100% accuracy because of the sticky nature of the final product of those, the combination of all materials which we are using for the roller. So for coming to this compaction, so the nature of the mix, the binder between those also impact in this kind of tight rollers. So these are the such type of the rollers. Coming to the grid rollers, intermediate between the smooth weld and sheep foot rollers. Whenever already we know about these sheep foot rollers as well as smooth rollers, it is the intermediate between these two. Such type is known as grid rollers. So wheels made of steel bars forming a grid with square holes. So it has high, but it coming to this action, high contacting pressure and more suitable for coarse grained aggregates. Operate speeds at between 5 to 24. It depends. 5 to 24. So the difference between the speed is different, and then it decides which speed is suitable, how much speed is required. It is decided by the required compaction material. So where we are going to compact it, that decides the speed. So these are the grid rollers. This is the example for the figure which we understand for the grid rollers. So coming to the vibratory rollers, latest specification of earthwork invariably recommended vibratory rollers. So these rollers are very helpful from several considerations like high compaction level. Compaction can be done up to the greater depths. Vibratory rollers are similar to the smooth weld rollers with the modification that the drums are made to vibrate by employing rotating or reciprocating mass. In this, high compaction level can be achieved with maximum of the work. So these are the vibratory rollers. Coming to the impact roller, the latest compaction equipment are high energy impact rollers which use shape. Example, triangular, ellipsoids or hexagonal. So the high energy imparted by these systems allow them to achieve compaction at a faster rate to greater depths. In these impact rollers, which we have to understand based on the high energy as well as based on the shape, we are going to allow, and based on the depth, we are having different types of depths. So using different kind of rollers, the depth is going to reduce gradually and it took lots of time compared to this impact roller. In this, whenever we are going to achieve this compaction at a faster rate and to greater depths. In comparison between different types of compaction equipment based on the vertical settlement with number of passes. It depends upon the how much the depth is going to reduce because of the compaction done by the different equipment. It depends whether it is impact roller, whether it is sheave foot roller, drum rollers. It depends. Grid roller, vibratory roller. We have to consider how much depth is going to reduce in number of based on the number of passes. How many times the X roller is going to pass on that particular selected region or selected location. So which type of roller, how many times it passes and how much vertical settlement is happened is the one of the major factor which we have to consider for understanding the compaction. How much compaction is done by the different types of equipment, which type of roller is effective, and it depends, the effectiveness is also depends upon the number of times, how many number of times the passes are done, as well as the weight of the roller also plays a role for compacting this. These are all the major, and some secondary parameters are also influencing the compaction level of the roller. These are all the various parameters which we are going to consider for the understanding the suitability of the which type of equipment, which type of vibrator or roller we are going to select for the required work. So whether it is highway road works, building works, for settlement of the foundation, various works, it depends upon the various works and what we required exactly for the vertical settlement, and how much the number of passages are also plays a role for the effectiveness of the rollers. So in this the major thing which we are going to understand in these rollers. Coming to these impact rollers, it has its high energy equipment and how much time it is passes. In this 1.5 meters thick square with round edges and provides deeper 2 to 3 meters compaction. It's very high. So this is the figure for the impact rollers. It is more than compared to the other rollers. So this is the analysis what we understand in this. So in this, based on the various characteristics, in this we choose some of the characteristics, some other also we may analyze by using these kind of vibratory equipment for shallow compaction. Coming to the mass, in this vibrating hammer, how much it is? The values varies between 0.3 to 0.1 and maximum working speed for kilometer per hour and vibrating frequency, depth of the lift, how much depth it is going to done, and in meters, and number of passes, how many number of passes are required. So this is the analysis which we understand. These are the some of the typical characteristics which we consider. In this, coming to the vibrating hammer, impact roller is 7, that mass, and the number of passes up to 30, and the depth of the lift is between 0.5 to 3 meters. Similarly, light vibrating plate having the mass between 0.06 to 0.8, this maximum working speed 1 kilometer per hour, the vibrating frequency is 10 to 80, the depth of the compaction is happening in 0.15 to 0.5 meter, number of passes 2 to 4. Coming to the light vibrating roller, this is plate and this is roller. So in this, the mass is 0.6 to 2, max working speed 2 to 4, vibrating frequency 25 to 70, depth 0.3 to 0.5, and the number of passes 4 to 6. Similarly, heavy vibrating roller and heavy self-propelled vibrating roller are also having their different characteristics. These characteristics, it depends upon the where we are going to do and how much air. It depends upon the various parameters, type of the site, type of the soil, and where which type for which purpose we are doing, and cost also. So these are all the effective factors which we keep in our choose of the equipment for the compaction. So these are the some of the applications which we observe. So coming to the equipment, what in which most suitable soils, what are the various typical applications, at least suitable soils. So these are the some of the applications which we observed. Coming to the smooth wheel rollers or static vibrating, coming to these well graded sand gravel mixtures, crushed rock, such type of soils, this equipment is suitable for running surface, base courses, subgrades for roads and runways. So uniform sands, at least suitable soils. Most suitable soils, well graded, sand gravel mixtures, crushed rock, running surface, base courses, subgrades for roads and runways. Least suitable soils, uniform sands. For such type, we are choosing these smooth wheel rollers. Coming to the whenever the coarse grained soils, most suitable with some fineness, and the type of application road and airfields upgrade and base course proof rolling, such type rubber tied roller. So least suitable for these equipment, these rubber tied roller is coarse uniform cohesionless soils and rock. Coming to the grid rollers equipment, it is most suitable weathered rock, well graded course, subgrade, subbase. So least suitable soils, clays, silty clays, uniformly graded material. It depends. Sometimes there is no other choice. At that time, these least suitable soils, based on these least priority, we are considering this equipment. Coming to the sheep's foot rollers, they are fine grained soils with more than 20% fineness, dams, abutments, subgrade for airfields, highways. And coming to the least suitable soils, clean coarse grained soils with stones. Coming to the vibrating as above, but also sand gravel mixtures, subgrade layers, we are using this vibrating plate light, coarse grain soils, 4 to 8% of fines, small patches, least suitable for cohesive soils. The next one is tampers, rammers and impact rollers. All types, wide range of moist and saturated soils, difficult across area, subgrade, earthquake except surface, dry and cohesionless soils are the least suitable. These are the some of the applications which we observed for this equipment. This is the most suitable, and what are the various where we are using for the suitable applications, as well as in least suitable soils also we observe in these applications. These are the some of the web references which we follow for these mechanical modification, the two shallow compaction. Thank you. For the next mechanical modification, we will see in our next class.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.